Hello, and welcome to today's presentation, An Intelligent Content Strategy for Enterprise Technology Marketers. I'm Marilou Barsam, Senior Vice President of Client and Corporate Marketing for TechTarget. For those of you who are unfamiliar with TechTarget, we are a leading online technology media company that gives technology providers ROI-focused marketing programs to generate leads, shorten sales cycles, and grow revenue. With a network of 56 technology-specific websites, numerous invitation-only events, and more than 7.5 million registered members, TechTarget is a primary web destination for technology professionals researching products to purchase. And joining me today is Michael Gale, founder of Strategic Oxygen. Michael has over 23 years' experience in technology marketing and research. Strategic Oxygen is a marketing intelligence and planning company that is committed to improving the effectiveness of marketing communications for technology-related brands by applying scientific methodologies based on customer-centric research, so to build integrated marketing playbooks. Before we get started, I'd like to remind people that if you have any questions throughout the presentation, please contact us at the addresses shown here. And again, I'd like to personally thank you for joining us today, Michael.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome. I thought it would be interesting for the audience, before we actually get started, if you could share a little background on your marketing intelligence database and how that specifically relates to today's discussion.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here. This is a hot topic at a number of the clients we work with, so it's great to be here and actually share some of this knowledge. We produce this custom research on an annual basis. We interview in 12 countries around the world, about 25 technology areas, and we talk to about 20,000 CIOs, IT management, IT specialists, even CXOs in Fortune companies and line of business managers. And what we're trying to get to the heart of is what types of content, messaging, and sort of sales and marketing vehicles these individuals are using as they go through their various personal involvement levels in the actual sales or purchase cycle. We've done this work for about 7 or 8 years now. We spend about $8 million a year investing in this, and the tools are actually used to plan about $5.5 billion worth of technology marketers' budget. So hopefully today we can give you some insights into those best customer-related practices that we're seeing from CIOs and IT managers and CXO targets. It's a pleasure to be here, so thank you for having us.
Great, and thank you for that background. So I'm sure we have some marketers sitting in the audience basically wondering, why do they need a formal content strategy? And from our mutual perspectives, we feel that the dynamics of internet marketing basically demands it. And that's because you as a marketer need to create multiple interactions between your prospects, your brands, and your solutions. And realistically, to get that done, you need a full arsenal of strategic assets. We also know from practical experience and our research that IT prospects specifically intersect with multiple content touch points, including both yours and your competitors. And so it's logical to basically conclude that the more assets you have, the more mind share you will win. I wanted to demonstrate to you, as a result of our quarterly media consumption trend research studies, what we're seeing consistently evolving over the last couple of years. So what you're looking at, represented by the myriad of dots, basically is representation for various online media, starting with online communities, search engines, inclusive of editorial articles, white papers, case studies, all the way down to product literature, trial software. And what we're trying to represent here for you concisely is the actual usage and effectiveness that has been signified by our research results based on asking IT pros, when you are making a decision on a product solution, and when you are what we consider to be an awareness phase versus a consideration phase versus a decision phase, which online assets do you frequent the most and do you find the most effective? And what you should be seeing here is that specific assets turn out to be more relevant to them at specific times. So there is not one asset, one cure-all for your entire marketing effort. Here's another way to look at this, and this is intentionally visually a bit overwhelming, but it's reality, folks, because it makes the statement even further that not all content is alike. And if you look at the usage depicted here by the icons representing white papers, virtual trade shows, podcasts, what you can see pretty quickly is most of the consumption takes place in what we relate to as a consideration phase, what the IT folks relate to as basically making their minds up about who they're going to shortlist. So again, they're looking at multiple touch points. Now, I firmly believe that we are in the age of trying to figure out, anticipate the hyperactive lead. And to demonstrate this, I wanted to share with you some of the behind-the-scenes analysis we've been doing at TechTarget, looking at activity behavior of IT pros that touch our various sites, your content, our content, to give you an idea of actually how active they are. Here are 780 respondents to one specific security vendor's program. These 780 took more than 3,300 actions across the network, and you can't see it in the footnote, but this is over a 60-day period. This is 42 interactions on average. That is mind-blowing, if you ask me. And if you aggregate their particular visits, this basically means that they downloaded more than 2,200 content assets from more than 125 vendors. They opted in for 308 editorial or promotional emails. They viewed 766 articles, and they signed up for 19 conferences. So think about that when you're thinking about whether or not you do indeed need a content strategy. So our recommendation to you is, for you to execute a content strategy, you need to think about this hyperactive lead, and you need to think about 3 key dynamics of internet marketing. So first of all, you need to be omnipresent on the web. Always on and always present is what we like to say. And that's because that's what your IT pros are doing. They're always using the web, starting with search. The other thing you need to consider is the complexity of reaching not just the singular IT pro, but the pro as part of a member of a team. And that's important because, as Michael will touch on soon, there are specific messages that resonate with different titles. And so not one title or one content asset can do all of your work or one particular message. And then really importantly is the fact that you need to have a nurturing process. And what I mean by that is it's simply not enough just to syndicate your content, put it out there, and be done with it. You need to think about how in the venues you're advertising on, as well in your own backyards, how are you going to nurture these leads along? Again, presenting the right content that fits where they are with their buyer, purchase, and cycle. So in case you're still asking yourself why you should do all this, our own clients are telling us they're already seeing tangible benefits from deploying an intelligent content strategy. And one of the most obvious is it creates alignment between their own media buying tactics and their go-to-market initiatives so that they know they're spending the money in the right places at the right time relative to the IT pros they want to attract and where they are in their buyer cycle. The other thing is it requires better synergies between you in marketing, product management, and sales. And as we all know, this is one of your biggest challenges. It basically mandates that you get on the same page in terms of what your priorities are, and then you build a content arsenal to complement those priorities. And also for medium-sized and large companies, we've heard that there's less waste, less duplication of effort and resources, and that makes sense because you'll basically be very formal about what you're going to do, what your planning looks like, and you can share that within your enterprises. And most of all, in terms of ROI and performance, we're being told that there's higher conversion. And personally, I interpret that as being is that there's so much thought being given to the assets that are used, to the target audience, that everything is being focused up in a better way.